Welcome everyone to a new video. Today I'm going to be working on these subs, and what everybody's been talking about on the forums is how bad these suckers rattle, how bad this box is that they're in, and a couple tricks you can do to make it sound better. So with the trunk floor out, I'm going to add some soundproofing material around here. Like this is the factory stuff, this little hard chip stuff. I'm going to add some more, just a little bit that I have around. But my main focus today is going to be working on this wall and getting it sound deadened, padded, because what's happening is with this floor in, the air is escaping out of these holes and going under the floor, making the floor vibrate against itself, and it sounds terrible. So besides that, we're going to take this rear piece out and we're going to stuff it with some polyfill. Now, this is stuff you can find at Walmart in the craft department, if Walmart has one of those. And it's just polyfill. And what that's going to do is it tricks the speakers into thinking there's more airspace somehow. I think that's how you explain it. It gives it more surface area inside the sub box, and it baffles it and makes it just sound better. So while we're at it, we're going to get the side panel out and disconnect I think it's called the ANC, the active noise cancellation module. It can be just physically unplugged. That's the thing that when you put it in sport mode, it makes the subs have more sound through them. So, you know, I got to take this out and all these panels out, and maybe I'll show you doing some of that, but I'm filming by myself today, so it makes it quite a bit harder. So I'll just show those panels out. There's some walkthrough videos from some aftermarket speaker manufacturers. So this is just going to be the start of the stereo. This is just going to be for now. So I'll get going on it and then kind of check in. All right, so I'm actually sitting in the trunk. It's not very comfortable, and I wanted to go over a few things while I had this apart. So this is where the little factory sub boxes were, and that's them sitting over there. And this is some type of module for the car. You can't move that. These were where the speaker wires are plugged in. So I'll show you in a second. On the bottom of the sub boxes, they are just a hole, and they got like a little gasket. So it wants all this down here is airspace escaping over here in these corners. I mean, it's definitely not a sealed box. It's just trying to give them more airspace for these little tiny pancake speakers. They suck, but that's why we're doing this. So in getting the driver's side all taken apart, let me show you, this is the amplifier for the sound system, and this is the active noise control module, and this is where it was plugged in. So what I did was I just flipped a little switch, unplugged this out, and I tucked it over here in here so it doesn't move around and rattle. And it does not have to be plugged in. You can code it out, the active noise cancellation, with beamer code, or you can just unplug the module. It does not hurt it at all. No check engine lights, no errors, no nothing. It's just the amp will do its thing. So as you can see, these are your little surround speakers. How about this for sound deadening? A Toyota part number and everything on this, just a piece of cloth stuffed in here for baffling for those. So now, how about this? This right here is where that strut, that cross member brace goes across. Look at this little L bracket. There's nothing to this thing. It's just literally tack welded on. Now, I do have the new over there Cusco rear brace, and it actually uses this hole, the factory hole, and you unbolt this one and bolt it into here. Now, this is pretty substantial cross brace here, framing up this and that. So that is definitely going to make that Cusco brace a lot more sturdy. I mean, this is almost bologna, and this is actually your meat and potatoes right here. So that's just real interesting. Not that that would ever shear off, but it's off now. So I'm going to get that brace powder coated red before I put it in. So really had to take a lot of this car apart. In order to be able to pull this whole entire sub cover off, I had to take the center console, the armrest off. The armrest is held in with 2 bolts. Center console just snaps off. But in order to snap this off, you have to take the center console piece off. All the pieces up the side, even the door seals, all the way to the front of the car have to be off in order to get because they all kind of lock into each other. Now, I didn't feel like getting my big driver bit out there, so this panel is just kind of floating. I'm not driving the car right now, so it's okay down there. I guess if I needed to drive, I could drive with this whole back gutted and just take. So here's the subs. Good Lord. I would barely be able to say that's an 8-inch sub. Pretty pancakey thin. That's the back side of them. There's that gasket I was telling you about. So this is not, obviously we know they're not really subs. They're more like mid-bass. But boy, getting that thing out was tough. But as you can see, all these other panels are over here. So I'm going to lay down some soundproofing material. I use, I have to remember the name of it. I'm going to give them a plug once I get it unwrapped and out again. But I'm going to get some soundproofing on these walls. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those subs. They really do suck. But maybe with the polyfill and doing some Dynamat on that, soundproofing, I'm sorry, on this wall, they will actually help them and keep them from sounding so bad. I'll give you my update here in a minute. All right. After working on it for a few hours, I wanted to do my plug for Second Skin. This is their product. It is a beautiful sound absorbing material. Foil bag, doesn't give off any smell. This is not their premium, but this stuff works really good on metal. So with the whole trunk gutted, you can see where the factory subs or whatever they do or sit. I did a layer on them. I got some down inside there. Those are obviously purposely left vent holes. And I got it tucked up underneath this a little bit on both sides. You can even, sorry, the flashlight, you see the back here. Some down around the battery, floor, everywhere. Let me show you behind the seats. I did a little bit of that firewall. I guess you call it a firewall, the back firewall. I don't know what, bulkhead, whatever. And so something interesting that I did find out is that down inside here, there is a wall right about here, and it's all sealed off. So they definitely didn't want the air going up into there. And they purposely left the air going out of those. So that's an interesting find. And if there is no divider in the middle, it's open all the way across, so they share airspace. But when I get a little bit more of Second Skin, I'll probably put a little bit more in here and some key spots. This is mostly to keep down rattles. The resonation of the subs, once I get some bigger subs in here. That's the main reason I do the sound deadening. It will help a little bit. And this stuff doesn't weigh nothing, really. So, I'm adding weight. I weigh too much anyways. I could lose the weight and make the difference up if I have to. So, I'm going to get the factory sub set back in, some polyfill put in, and I'll show you that before I put both subs in. So hold on a second. All right, I just wanted to show this box filled. And this is about how much polyfill I put into the box. Just like that. It's in there. None of it's on the seal. And then I put about equally that much down inside there. Worked it over as far as I could into the middle. Now I'm going to set those sub boxes back down. So the next step, which I really didn't show doing here, was I had to pull all of these, part of the wire harness, off where they're attached. And I'm also removed the active noise control, or not, that's not what it's called, but the thing that generates some noise to the speakers, because it doesn't throw any check engine light, so it's all gone now. But I had to do that to remove this factory soundproofing material. There was nothing behind it but bare metal, and then be able to get soundproofing up behind it. And if you really get deep dive, I know the lighting's not going to be perfect here, but it's all up here. This is on the underside, and then all back in here. So tried to get up there on the actual inside of the outside panel as much as I could. I couldn't cover like this hole because this is the access point for taking the tail light out if you ever need to. I guess I could. It'd be easy to punch it back out through if you need access to it. So I did that on both sides. This side was a lot harder because of the factory power, and I didn't feel like moving this power block just in case, you know, so much could go wrong, and it's such little sound deadening difference, you know. But I did fit some up in here, and of course all behind it, and all up here again and everything. So the only other thing left is going to be sacrificing the subs. We're not going to have them in here. This is where the amp rack is going to go. So once they're removed, I will probably go over the holes, top and bottom of them, and stuff them full of some sound deadening. So basically the trunk is 100% done now. I'm, you know, got 2 layers on the floor. Might as well. It's easy to do and it's cheap. I might do some of the hatch up inside there, possibly. Probably not down the sides, but we'll that's wait to be done later. So that's gonna be the finishing up this video here of getting the trunk all sound deadened. Next step up, step 2 is gonna be working on the doors. Take the door panels off, soundproof them as much as I can. That'll be in the next video. So we're going to call this video part 1 of the stereo install, the teardown, and part 2 will be the doors, and then part 3 will be actually delivering the car to the stereo shop here in St. Louis, JML Audio, and because they're the ones that are going to be tackling getting the signal. And the beginning of part 3 will show off all the equipment going in the car and kind of give a rough idea of what we're doing, so you know, people can look forward to that and get excited about it. And then we'll just be showing that during the build also. They said we're allowed to come do a little filming there as long as we keep you know, just showing just only our car, and we will go from there. So thanks for watching this video, and this is going to be a fun process over the next month or two, building the stereo system, because the stock one sucks. So thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to follow this series. Thanks. Bye.